7 days ago on, I suppose it was 7 days ago on Thursday, September 21 for World Gratitude Day. And let me just offer for you, if it is available for you, to make an acknowledgement. I shall acknowledge where I live, work, and play is located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish people of the Keycote First Nations. And I'll invite you for the next 41 minutes, if you would and are able to create a undistracted space for you, putting away your phone unless I'm on your phone as you're watching this, but maybe turning it on to silent so it's not distracting you. If you would like, you are welcome to grab your journal if you journal, or a piece of paper, notebook, something to write on, or perhaps you're a digital person. And if that's not something that resonates with you, you could just consider and follow along and with the journaling prompts that I offer you. And if you would like a beverage of choice, I'm a tea drinker, but maybe a coffee, smoothie, water, whatever your beverage of choice is, just to make yourself comfortable. It's a bit cool here in Vancouver today, so maybe a blanket and some cushions to be against. The topic for today is toxic gratitude. Who would have thunk? And the flow for our time together today is a very brief breathing practice and setting an intention. If that is something that would be helpful for you, we'll go into our first prompt. We've got 3 prompts today for our journaling because we've got a little bit of extra time. And then we're going to do something called drumming the chi. It's a little energy boost. I was feeling like I needed an energy boost today, and maybe some of you are feeling the same. Then talking about toxic gratitude and what I've learned, sharing my learnings about gratitude for you. Then we'll go into the 2 prompts and do a meditation with you, offer you a gratitude practice to take away with you, and just a musing there, and then we'll be closing. With that, I'm going to start off with the invitation for you of setting aside anything that's come before. I'm not sure if it's a morning for you, what time of the day it is, but if anything that has happened before this time of coming into this room. And so just a brief welcome to everyone in the room. Thank you for being here, or if you're tuning in live from Facebook or YouTube or watching the replay, thank you for investing in yourself and allowing me the honor of guiding you through this gratitude practice. And now just bringing attention to your breath very gently and without any pressure to have to do anything with it. Just allowing yourself to notice your breath and noticing without needing to change it. And just feeling your breath moving in and out of your body in that beautiful way that you know. And I'll invite you, when you're ready, to take 3 deeper breaths. Breathing all the way into your belly and feeling the rise and fall of your chest and your belly with each in-breath and out-breath. And as you do that, if it is something that would be helpful for you, to create an intention of this precious time that you're investing in yourself, this time of thanking yourself for being here perhaps. And letting that go, and when you're ready, to take 3 deeper conscious breaths again. And if your eyes were closed or lowered, gently opening your eyes or lifting your gaze and looking around the room and coming back here. So the first journal prompt that I'm going to offer you today is, if you would like to write this down and we'll do this together. I'll set a timer here. The prompt is a time when I received or witnessed gratitude. And so just considering a time when you received or witnessed gratitude. And so we'll just do that I'm going to give you a whole 2 minutes today. We've been doing 1 2 minutes the past days. We've got a little bit more time today. So I'll give you a couple of minutes, and whatever comes up, even just writing down or considering nothing's coming up, and just letting that be. Or maybe there'll be lots. So whatever comes up for you for the next 2 minutes. And so we're through the first minute, and we've got a second minute here. So there could be thoughts, feelings, there may be memories coming up, emotions. Everything's welcome here. There's no right or wrong. And again, even if it's I don't know, and just allowing that and keeping on writing what is happening for you, what's coming up for you. A time when I received or witnessed gratitude was. And bringing that to a close now for the last few seconds. And you're certainly welcome if you want to come back to that. If it's a replay, you could even pause it here if you wish and continue with that prompt. And now we're going to move to give ourselves a little chi boost. Chi is energy for those who haven't tuned in before, and Gong is skill or practice. So we're practicing and developing our skills, our energy skills. And so the stand, you can do this sitting if you like. Be a little bit harder if you're lying down. So sitting or standing, the stance, if you're sitting in a seated cross-legged position, that's fine, or just sitting on the ground, you're going to need to get to your back, so something comfortable there. And if your spine can be erect but relaxed, and if you're on a chair, you may want to move to the front of your chair so you have room to go behind your back. I'm standing, so in what's called Wuji posture. So my feet are, I know you can't see my feet, but trust that they are hip widths apart. My knees are soft, so there's a slight bend in them, and my tailbone is tucked, and my spine is relatively straight. The chiropractor may disagree. And so we're just going to be in what's called Wuji posture here. And I'm going to show this to you, and then I'll invite you to follow along with me. So our kidneys, if we find our kidneys by putting our hands on our hips and then seeing where our fingers heading, ending up. And so that's about where our kidneys are. It's just you don't have to be too exact for this, because we're going to be called drumming the chi, drumming this energy center. And so we're going to so I'll show it to you from the back, and all you're doing is you're knocking or or hitting, and so that you've made a soft fist here, and you can hear my voice. Maybe you can hear my voice vibrating a bit as I'm hitting here. But so starting there, but then you can also start moving around the small of your back. And there's no particular pattern or anything. But I really like this for my lower back. It's quite tight doing computer work, even standing or sitting and just being at the computer so much. So wanted to share this with you, and it gives you a little chi boost to your kidneys as well. So that's what it looks like on the back. And then this is from the side. You don't have to move around. I'm just showing you. And I'm going to just stay in this behind position and be drumming with you as well. And so I'll just invite you, whether you're sitting or standing, to start drumming the chi and knocking on those kidneys. So you can start around there, reminding you of, if you just turn your hands around, let your kidneys are around here, and then you can start knocking on them. Go, if you want to go down your spine, down even your buttocks, over to your hips, whatever feels good. And we're giving ourselves a little chi boost here for our kidneys. When they're out of balance, it can be a sense of fear, and there can be some overwhelm as well. So we're just like knocking all that out, and especially we're going to be talking about toxic gratitude today too. So, and if it's too much for your arms being back, just give yourself a little break, and your breathing is just however you want it to be as you're knocking here, but it's more just the feeling of knocking these kidneys around. Okay, so knock away, and then we can release that and let that go. And coming back to our practice, next part of our practice here. But hopefully that gives you a little, you might want to take a moment and just see, does my chi, does my energy feel lifted? Do I feel a little bit of a boost? My Qigong teacher says it's better than coffee. We'll see what you think. I actually like to use it as a boost. I feel a little bit more awake now. So let's have a discussion, or listening. I suppose it's more lecture style today for you. But if you consider the idea of toxic gratitude, and I do have a cheat sheet here because this concept is something I knew about, but I wanted to reference my notes just so I'm catching all the important points. But if you may already have a sense of what toxic gratitude is, but in my research, I listened to a podcast by Mel Robbins, and Yash will share that with you in the playlist as well. But gratitude is complex, and we've been, the last 6 days, we've been exploring all the other different types of gratitude, different aspects of gratitude rather. And so I know for me, I was surprised at how complex it was. It's not just a thank you. And so in terms of that, anything that has complexity can lead to misuse, and it might not be used with the purest intention. Or you could say that it's being used in a misdirected way. And that is what toxic gratitude would be. Mel Robbins, from the podcast episode I listened to, quoted, toxic gratitude is when you're focused on what is good, when you're only focused on what is good in your life. And another way of that for me is that there's these forms of thanks or gratitude that can hinder your life rather than help you progress and achieve well-being and calm and groundedness. And so I'm going to show you eight. This is 8. I'm just going to, there's like 8 that are quite prevalent. There are likely more, and you may think of some as you're listening to me. But as you listen to these, there's going to be a sense that you'll pick up on a pattern, that the original genuine expression of appreciation has been twisted, it's been warped, and it's now become negative, unsupportive, not helpful. And in order to, like, wanting to bring this to you is just for me, like, oh, I'm using toxic gratitude all over the place. So being mindful of that and just being able to recognize patterns so we can do what Dan Siegel says is name it to tame it. And so being able to identify that, then we can allow ourselves to have a richer life and a healthier practice of gratitude. And that can then lead us, if like you from the last, if you tuned into the last 6 episodes of what I've been sharing with you, it can lead to helping you feel more empowered. You're going to grow more as a person, and it's going to strengthen. And Dr. Huberman talks about, your pro-social connections as well, or just merely your connection with yourself and with others, so you can be more available for both yourself and others. So let's explore. I'm going to run down the list first, and then I'll take a moment to share with you what the information is here. So reluctant gratitude is the first one. Self-gaslighting gratitude, number 2. Number 3 is gratitude shaming. 4 is toxic positivity gratitude. 5 is disguised resentment. 6 is escapism. 7 is stagnation. And 8 is internal validation displacement. So you may come up with other words and descriptions. This is just what I picked up in my research. And so reluctant gratitude. If you think of being at a dinner party, the host has served a dish, a dinner, and you don't like the food, but you feel a pressure to compliment the dish and say, this is really good, but you're expressing reluctant gratitude. Your thanks are not about, they're not pure. They're not coming from a pure, genuine place. You're feeling under pressure, social pressure for it. So that's external expectations, social expectations, if you like. The second one, self-gaslighting gratitude. So think of a time when you've been overwhelmed at work. I'm in Korea, so my clients, I hear this from my clients, and I have experienced it myself too, of course. You're overwhelmed at work and you say those words are just, I should just be grateful for having a job. Like, you're just like, I'm overwhelmed, but I just, doesn't matter about that. I should just be grateful. So you're not paying attention to your feelings of stress and burnout in there. So you're not acknowledging yourself. And this is a self-gaslighting gratitude. So you're using gratitude to distract yourself as a smoke screen, and you're denying or minimizing your real emotions yourself. You're invalidating yourself is another way that you could say that. The third one, gratitude shaming. Imagine telling someone who's struggling that they should be grateful because others have it worse. Do you say that to yourself, or do you hear that from others? So this is a type of gratitude shaming. It was just like, oh, someone's, there's all that, you've got all this food in front of you, and don't waste it because others don't have enough food. That's something that I have heard in the past. So that's gratitude shaming. So it's using gratitude as a guilt, blaming others. It is taking away the positive and empathetic intention of gratitude. And so toxic positivity gratitude, number 4. So in this scenario, you're going through a challenging, a tough time, but you are faking it. You're like pretending to be happy, even though on the inside you're crying. And you are just like telling yourself you're grateful for the learning experience, but not allowing yourself to grieve or and have those emotions that actually you need to process. And so it's a toxic positivity gratitude, because you're forcing yourself to be positive, and you're neglecting, you're not paying attention, you're suppressing the negative emotions that you actually do need to express. So it's not what you're truly experiencing. So for me, another way is like it's all rainbows and lollipops, but it's really you're crying on the inside, or you're desperately sad, upset, even depressed on the inside. Another way Mel Robbins says is a type of grandstanding. So you'll see those profiles on social media. Everything is happy, happy, happy. So just being aware of that. And so in this type of toxic positivity gratitude, you're not acknowledging the struggles and challenges in your life is essentially what's there. Disguised resentment, we're up to number 5, is if you think of being overlooked for a promotion, the work theme again, but then you say yourself, well, it's okay because I now have extra time to do all these other things in my life. So you're not acknowledging that you're feeling resentful about being overlooked. And so in this way, you're bypassing your own feelings of resentment, of discontent. And so it's a mask. It becomes a mask for you. I need tea. There's a lot of talking. Okay, let's take a breath here. We've got 3 more to go. Escapism. So if you consider some time when you're feeling sad, hurt, upset, but rather than allowing yourself to experience these emotions, you list off you make your great gratitude list, your list of things that you're grateful for. And so again, you're avoiding the uncomfortable emotions by just making a list, and you're escaping from the emotions that don't feel good that you want to face. So that's the escapism. 7, stagnation. So this is a really pertinent one for a lot of my clients when they come to me, staying in an unfulfilling job and expressing gratitude for the stability, whether it's financial or just like that this is a job that you're not going to get fired for. You have that security. And so you're just staying there and you're becoming complacent, you're stagnating. And so in that way, gratitude is keeping you stuck in a situation where you're not growing. And then these other things of like getting stressed from being bored, not challenged. So you're not growing, you're ignoring your well-being and becoming unhappy. That was definitely, I did that for a long time until I found this work over a decade ago, and I can't believe I'm still doing it. So the 8th one, this is 8, internal validation displacement. So this is where you are basing your self-worth on your outcome of your, if we stay with the career theme, of your career success, or something you've produced, something you've done. So, and then you're using gratitude for your job or your career as a measure. So you're using that to measure your self-worth as a person. So you've become identified with that rather than it being an internal experience. And so this is internal validation displacement. So you're misusing gratitude in this way, and you're getting internal validation from external sources. And your career, you could also get that from people. So you're not recognizing and appreciating your own intrinsic self-worth. So that's another really big one. So each of these toxic gratitude, the 8 of them here, can lead to a distortion of the true purpose and intention and the benefits of gratitude. And so my offering is to you is like, by recognizing them, as I said, Dan Siegel's mindfulness, name it to tame it, you can start to become aware of it, and then you can start doing something about it. And in doing so, that will help you cultivate and lead to a much more authentic, wholehearted, and balanced and healthy gratitude practice. So, okay, big breath there. Another sip of tea. And so what I wanted to offer for you, need to just take a moment here, but just if we take all that we heard about toxic gratitude today and we combine that with the research of what's gone before, and the last couple of sessions I've talked about Dr. Huberman's Science of Gratitude and how to build a gratitude practice, as well as listening to Mel Robbins' podcast and then the other research and reading that I was doing. But so putting that together, here's a summary of the elements to help you create a supportive and effective gratitude practice. So there's 6 essentials and elements here. So the first one is to identify and counteract these toxic gratitude patterns. So that's what I wanted to bring your awareness to that. The second is to practice gratitude in a genuine way. So you really want to acknowledge what your real feelings are and those emotions that can be hard and challenging. And then when the time is right for you, then see if you can find the learning from your challenges and then appreciating your personal growth. And tomorrow we'll be talking about the idea of a gratitude mindset. So I'll say more about that tomorrow. The third is authenticity. So your brain knows when you're lying to it. You can't be insincere with your brain. It's not going to work. It's not going to lead to that transformational growth. So the benefits of gratitude can only go in and if you're honest with yourself. Story. So as creating a summarized story that is meaningful and references back to you emotionally to connect you and evoke those emotions for you. And that I said more about that yesterday. Was it the day before? So in the last couple of days, I've talked about that. And then this is most potent. The potency of the story is when you are actually receiving. So it's not giving the gratitude, it's actually receiving sincere and authentic gratitude, which was surprising for me. And Dr. Huberman shared it was surprising for him too. Or you can witness someone else receiving that sincere and authentic gratitude. So it's and this will help you transform your neurochemistry and enable you to access the physiological and psychological benefits of gratitude for your overall well-being. And then 6, repetition and consistency. So use that story in your regular gratitude practice. So the summary of integrating the gratitude practice is to write something about the state of this is again from Dr. Huberman, about the state of of you before the gratitude or the person that you witness, the state of you or the other person after the gratitude interaction, and then talking about anything that will make it really embodied, really emotional for you. So it could be visual, auditory, kinesthetic, which is feeling. So all those references to make it as rich and true as possible for you. And then making a summarized bullet point as a cue to that. You only need 1 minute, can go all the way up to 5 if you want to evoke this, if you do it effectively for the gratitude practice. And then Dr. Huberman said, try it 3 times per week, and it doesn't matter what time of the day it is. So I would invite you to try that out. That was a lot, I know. And now we're going to move from that into a practice. Actually, I was supposed to do my prompts. So let's just take a few breaths here. Maybe I'll shorten my meditation, but that was a lot of information. So let's just breathe in and out 3 times. That was a lot of information that I just gave you. And perhaps what we'll do here is I'm just going to do one gratitude prompt in the interest of time here. So in regards to the prompt that I'm going to offer you for now, if you want to take pen and paper, and we're just going to have 1 minute now, because the time has gone away with all that information I was throwing at you. And so this prompt is: the idea of toxic gratitude to me is. So whatever comes up for you, and I'm going to do it with you, the idea of toxic gratitude to me is, and we'll just do 1 minute from now. And there might be some feelings in your body coming up, some thoughts, a story, whatever's coming up. And I know that was really quick, but I'll have you finish up in 10 seconds now for that. And then we're going to move to the meditation. So I'll have you, of course, come back to that if that would be helpful for you later. And just inviting you now to put all of that information aside. Just trust that some of it's gone in. I know it was a lot of information. As I said, you do have the replay, but just putting things aside, making yourself comfortable. I am going to switch and share my screen, so there's something, there's a lovely sunset scene, and thank you to my husband for this beautiful sunset, abstract sunset photograph that he allowed me to share. So as you prepare for the meditation, find a comfortable posture where you can be still but alert, and bring attention to your breath, breathing in and out at your own rhythm, becoming aware of your breath without trying to change it. Just observing what comes up and allow that. And when you're ready, taking 3 deeper breaths. And on each in-breath, inviting gratitude. And on each out-breath, releasing any toxic gratitude that you may have been using or that you have received. Following that pattern of inviting wholehearted gratitude and releasing toxic gratitude. And now letting go of your breath awareness in your own time, and trust your breathing rhythm that will continue. And I'm going to have you imagine a golden sun above your head, and experiencing this golden sun above you, and then melting down the front of your body, your face, your neck, throat, down your chest, over your abdomen, the front of your legs, knees, the top of your feet, and into the earth. And as it does the melting down, you're feeling that sense of gratitude, and you're releasing any toxic gratitude into the earth. And now visualize that golden glowing sun above your head again, and take it down the back of your body, behind your head, your neck, your spine, the back of your buttocks, the backs of your legs, knees, calves, heels, and into the earth. And again, you're filled with gratitude and you're releasing any toxic gratitude or anything that's not serving you into beautiful Mother Earth. And finally, the golden sun, visualizing glowing above you and having that drop down into the center of your body. And as it does, perhaps there's a gentle smile on your lips and even a bigger smile inside as that sun comes and touches and glows, lights up the left and right hemispheres of your brain and into your throat, your heart, your lungs, lighting up all your internal organs, your kidneys, your stomach and spleen, gallbladder and liver, and your reproductive organs, your bones, your skeletal system, your circulatory system, your respiratory system, all the cells in your body. And then that sun is going to go down your legs and through the middle of your feet and into the earth. And so starting here filled with gratitude. And this meditation is called 1 through 10. And from 1, there's a rhyming from 1 all the way to 10. Just follow me along here. And I'm only going to do 4 today, so I'm going to tease you a little bit. We'll finish the rest tomorrow in the interest of honoring your time. So 1 is fun. Take pleasure in your work, your career, whatever you do. And imagine a smile melting down the front of your body like that warm oil, melting all the stress and tension into the earth. And then that second smile melting down the back of your body, dissolving all that stress and tension down into the earth. And then finally, that third smile melting into the center of your head, relaxing all your thoughts, judgments, emotions, and flowing down your shoulders, your arms, out of your hands, and the melting will continue to flow down the center of your torso like a warm oil, melting all the emotional blocks, tension, all of that toxic gratitude, and releasing that, allowing it to flow down your legs, out into the ground, and into beautiful Gaia, Mother Earth. Finding your mind and your body content, relaxed, and peaceful. 2 is Shu. Imagine your feet now melting into the earth like ice melting on a hot sidewalk. The energy of the feet will fuse with the earth and melt in 5 directions: forward, backward, right, left, and down. And a second wave of love, profound, wholehearted gratitude and appreciation down to the earth. And this connects your mind and body with the earth energy. 3 is tree. Feel yourself extending tree roots twice your body's height deep into the ground, into Mother Earth. Feel her supporting you as the roots expand in the 5 directions: forward, backward, right, left, and deep down, securing your rooting and connection with the beautiful Gaia, Mother Earth energy. And 4 is core. Imagine, see, feel, experience your roots extending deep into the core of the planet, and relax your mind. Allow yourself to receive the earth energy flowing into these roots, and then coming back and ascending up your legs, your spine, over your head, down the chest, and entering your lower dantian and your abdomen. And the action will allow you to draw the earth energy into your body and circulate it up your back and down over your chest to the abdomen, and cycling there again. And this solid connection to the earth roots your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual source energies and fills your core with beautiful, wise, and earth energy. And now, as we transition from here and taking your attention back to your breath as you become aware of your surroundings again, taking 3 deeper breaths with your own wisdom, inviting you to take this experience with you today. And as you close this gratitude practice, gently opening your eyes, lifting your gaze, and looking softly around you. And just noticing if you feel different, and any peace and groundedness for you to hold on to this experience as you shift into being more alert and taking this feeling of profound, wholehearted gratitude into whatever you're doing next on your gratitude journey. And as we wind up here, I'm going to offer for you the gratitude practice offering of noticing any toxic gratitude that you come across in your life. It may be a reflection on the past few days. You might notice it in your day, your evening, the next 24 hours, so that you can name it to tame it, as the wise Dan Siegel says. And tomorrow, I look forward to seeing you again. And I just realized 2 days in a row, I think I've forgotten to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, thank you for spending this time with me without knowing who I am. My name is Rachel Newton, and I'm an integrative career coach in Vancouver, Canada, and I've helped clients find their wholehearted careers for over a decade now. Tomorrow we'll be moving to day 8 of our practice, and I will share a little bit of where I've felt in this journey, and then we'll conclude on Friday. So thank you for staying with me. Thank you for being with me. I would love if you would subscribe, share this, and if it is something that you like and you would like me to do more of, I would love to hear that too. And I wish you a full, rich, and day of wholehearted gratitude. So thank you, everyone. Take care.